Hey guys, Jessica here, and welcome back to another Kindred Stamps design team video. Today I'm going to be using the Polynesian Adventurer set, and for this set I thought it would be fun to use the boat and do some paper piecing with that image. So to get started, I'm going to stamp the boat image several times. So the first color of cardstock I'm using is for the bottom portion of the boat. I wanted this to be a dark brown, and I believe I'm using a paper tray ink cardstock for that. And I'm just positioning the stamp to where most of that bottom portion will be the only part to stamp out. That way I don't waste a whole bunch of cardstock. And this is a perfect way to use up some of those scraps that you have too. For this lighter cardstock, this is Nina Desert Storm cardstock in 100 pound. I'm going to use a warm cocoa ink, which is just a really nice warm brown. And I'm stamping only the top portion where the sail is, but I'm actually going to use just the wishbone part of that sail, so just the wooden parts. And then for the actual sail, I'm using a piece of canvas. This is like the material that comes on artist canvas, so this is just that cottony kind of fabric. And I just have a roll of it. I thought I showed the roll, but I guess I didn't, and I believe I got it at Joann's. And I wanted the sail to have that really cool design. It's kind of like a spiral circle little design that is in the Polynesian Adventurer set. So I stamped that using StazOn ink in cherry pink, which is, it darkens a lot, so it looks more like a darker red. And I did stamp the sail in timber brown. StazOn ink is just really nice to stamp on fabric with. So I'm going to cut these images out. So I'm going to stamp it using that StazOn ink again in cherry pink. It shows up just barely on that black cardstock, just enough to where I can see it. But that way I just have something for all these pieces to secure to, because that canvas material it's cloth, it's a little flimsy, so this will just give it some structure. To glue everything together, I'm going to use a bit of multimedia matte glue and also some glossy accents. It's just something that I have on hand that I use very rarely, so it just works really well for gluing paper and fabric together to me. For everything else, I'm just going to use multimedia matte glue. And I'm just letting each piece dry underneath that large acrylic block. That way everything dries very flat and secure, and it doesn't get knocked around or moved at all. Now I can glue both of those pieces to the silhouette that I had cut out previously. Just makes it feel a little more solid, a little more structure. I'm also going to do a bit of pen work on this little boat and just ink the sides of that brown cardstock so it kind of blends in with the backing. And then I'm also going to draw a bit of a like wooden slat texture. You can barely see it because it's such a dark brown paper and this is black ink. I like just that little hint of detail, and it was really quick and easy to do. So I'm going to set that aside now, and I have two pieces of 80 pound Nina cardstock. One I used a circle die to cut through the center part. I'm going to use that as a template to draw a circle and do some ink blending for the background of this boat. So the biggest brush I used was for the blue because that'll be kind of the larger area, and then the medium brush I used the pink, and that little brush I used for the yellow. So I'm just laying down a bunch of that Distress Oxide ink and just blending back and forth. And I often like to take the other piece of cardstock that the circle is cut out on and just hold it over to kind of get a preview of what it will look like, what that center area will be. And when I'm happy with the ink blending, I can just glue that on top. I cut out both of those panels with a rounded rectangle die. I went ahead and I glued the boat onto the front of those two panels that I had glued together. You can see those nice sunset colors peeking out from behind the boat. I'm going to stamp the "You're on my way" sentiment from the Polynesian Adventurer set with some black ink. And then I also stamp a flower that comes in that same set in the same Distress Oxide ink that I used on the sunset colors. And I also stamped the turtle, which comes in the same set, with the black ink that I had used previously, it was stamping over Distress Oxide ink, so you kind of get more of a watermark look, which is kind of a cool little technique. To finish it off, I'm just going to add some dots with some black Nuvo drops using my embossing stylus, so I can get those tiny little Nuvo drops that I like. And this is me trying to figure out where I want to put those dots, overthinking it a little bit. There you have it. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this bit of paper piecing. I really like the texture that it gives to those stamps that we use. And that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Meh, meh.